Hey, what's up, gentlemen? Chris here with Elite Level Leader, and welcome to the Battleground. In today's workout, I've got an arms workout for you, and we're basically going to be doing biceps and triceps today, so a little bit longer than the typical workout since we are working basically two different muscle groups today on arms day. Now, the way this is going to work is we're going to end up doing 5 bicep exercises and 5 tricep exercises, and we're going to do what's called drop sets. So what's going to happen is we're going to start off with biceps, and we're going to start off with alternating dumbbell supination curls. So what's going to happen here is you're going to do a set of 12 at the lightest weight. So you're going to pick a light weight that you can do 12. Make sure you're giving yourself room to grow here, because what's going to happen is after you've completed that set of 12 at that lightest weight, you're going to go ahead and rest for 1 minute. Now, after the 1 minute of rest is up, now we're going to go ahead and increase the weight, but we're going to decrease the reps down to 9. Then you're going to rest for another 1 minute, and then you're going to increase the weight again to your heaviest weight, but we're decreasing the reps down to 6. Then what's going to happen is after you've completed that set of 6 reps, you're immediately going to set down that heaviest weight, grab that lightest weight that you started with without any rest, and you're going to do that movement until failure. So as much as you can until you can no longer do any more reps of those. So that's till failure. And that will complete that movement of that muscle group. All right, guys, it's going to go ahead and start off today, like I said, with alternating dumbbell supination curls. So I'm going to head back here, grab 2 dumbbells. Like I said, we're starting off light today because we're doing 12 of these, but this is the lightest weight. So on these dumbbell supination curls, you're going to start here in a nice standing position here, nice foundation. So your feet should be just about hip width apart here. Roll those shoulders back, keeping that chest up. Palms are facing each other. Dumbbells are hanging by the sides. I'm going to start with my right arm. Basically, you're going to curl it up, and as you curl it up, you're going to rotate internally till the dumbbell faces your chest. Then you're going to rotate that dumbbell externally till it hangs down by your side again. That completes the right side. Now I'm going to curl up on the left side, pause at the top, squeeze that bicep all the way down. Back to the right, back down. Nice and slow and controlled on the way down. You don't necessarily have to do a negative on this, but just nice and slow and controlled. Just don't let that weight drop. Make sure that that bicep is under tension for the entire time, squeezing it at the top and coming all the way back down. Now you're going to do a total of 12 per arm, so 24 total here on these dumbbell supination curls. Then what you're going to do is set those down. You're going to go ahead and rest for 1 minute. Then you're going to increase the weight, and we're going to do that same thing, but we're going to go ahead and do 9 reps. Then you're going to rest for 1 minute, increase the weight to the heaviest weight that you can do on there for a set of 6 reps. Then instead of resting, once those 6 reps are up, you're immediately going to go ahead and grab the lightest weight that we just started with, and you're going to do that movement until failure. All right, guys, then we're moving on to the second bicep movement today, which is going to be seated incline dumbbell curls. So I've got my bench set up here. You're going to set this up kind of at an incline, but almost all the way straight up. But you want to make sure you're leaning back just a little bit there. So I'm going to go back a little bit more than that. So basically, we're going to be doing dumbbell curls. Palms are going to be facing forward. We're going to do these at the same time, so we're not alternating on this. But what this is doing, typically, if you're doing bicep curls and they're hanging down by your sides, your elbows should be right here aligned with your ribs, and you're going to curl up and pause and come down like this. Now what we do is when we sit down on this bench and we go into an incline, what that does is it pulls your arms back now behind your lats, behind your chest. So really, you're getting more of a pull, more of a range of motion as you're curling up, and that bicep is under tension for a lot longer, and it really stretches it out at the base there, so you're getting a longer range of motion when you're doing these bicep curls. So I'm going to use the same weights as I was doing before here on the supination curls, and basically what you want to do is lean back here, make sure that your bench is in a position, the bottom is up and the top is in that inclined position there. I like to kind of get my feet up out of the way, so if you're able to kind of put your feet up on the bench and cross them, that's what I like to typically do. Now you're going to be leaning back here. The back is all the way against that back of the bench. Your head should also be against the back of the bench. But you see now my arms are hanging down way much behind my lats than they would be if I was in this upright position. So they're already hanging down there. What you're going to do now is we're curling them up at the same time, squeezing at the top, nice, slow and controlled all the way down. Keeping those elbows pointed down towards the ground the entire time. We're going to do a set of 12 of these at this lightest weight. You're really going to feel this in the bicep, guys, since we are at this inclined position and we're leaning back. That bicep is under tension the entire time here, especially as you slowly come down there, nice and slow and controlled, squeezing at the top. You're gonna do a set of 12 of those, and just like all the other movements here, you're gonna rest for that 1 minute, then you're gonna increase the weight for a set of 9, rest for 1 minute, increase the weight again for a set of 6, and then once that is over, that 6, you're immediately, without any rest, you're gonna pick up that light weight again, and you're just gonna go until failure on there. You're really gonna get a great bicep pump when you do those drop sets in there. All right, guys, then we're gonna move on to the next movement, which is gonna be dumbbell hammer curls. So bench is off the way. We're gonna go ahead and be doing this from a standing position. You're picking your lightest weight for a set of 12 reps. We are not supinating or alternating at these either. We're doing these at the same time. So palms are facing each other and chest is up, rolling those shoulders back. You're gonna curl them up. Palms are still facing each other, squeezing at the top and then slow and controlled all the way down. Curl them up and down. So these are like the supination curls that we were doing before, but we're not alternating and we're not turning our hands at all. We're just keeping our palms facing each other the entire time. You're gonna do a set of 12 of these at this lightest weight, just like before. Movements, we're then going to rest for the 1 minute. You're gonna do a set of 9 at a heavier weight, rest for 1 minute, and then a set of 6 at the heavier weight. Grab those weights after, again, that lightest weight, and do those till failure. Then we're gonna go ahead and move into dumbbell spider curls. So what I need to do here is on this bench, you're gonna raise it or set it down a little bit so it's at a less of an incline. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn it around so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. So you're gonna get a bench, put it at this incline level here. And these are spider curls. So what's gonna happen, I'm gonna put my chest here at the top of this bench. Now from here, feet are on the ground, and I'm really high up on this chest. So really, your chest is right up at the top of this bench. Arms gonna be down here, and what you're gonna do is you have the dumbbells in your hands. Hands are about a 45-degree angle here. Head and neck is in neutral spine. Basically, we're gonna alternate. We're gonna curl the right up, cross body, kind of a 45-degree angle here, then back down and curl the other one up. So it looks kind of like this as you're coming down here. These spider curls is what they're called. As they come across the front of your body, you're really bringing it up just underneath your chin. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off with these lighter weights that I've done before, since we're doing 12, and I'm doing 12 on each side. So you're really in this position for a set of 24 reps on these guys. So make sure you are choosing a weight that's light enough. So I've got them hanging down here. Chest is really up at the top of this bench. You don't want to be too far back there because your arms, your biceps will get in the way of the bench. You want to make sure you're clearing the top of that bench. We're at a 45-degree angle here. We're going to curl up, squeeze to the top, slow and controlled all the way down. Curl up, squeeze to the top, slow and controlled all the way down. We're going to do a total of 24 of these, 12 on each side. So you're going to be here for a little while. Make sure you are doing that nice and slow and controlled, focusing on that bicep, squeezing at the top, but also making sure you're choosing a weight here that you're able to do all 24 of these with proper form. So go ahead, set those down, rest for that 1 minute, increase the weight. You might only be increasing the weight by 5 pounds each time you go up on those increments there. For a set of 9, then you're gonna increase the weight again for a set of 6. Then you're gonna immediately go into a set of failure ones on that lightest weight. Then we're gonna move into the final movement today for biceps, and that's gonna be dumbbell close grip curls. So we don't need the bench for these. We're just gonna be in a standing position. But instead of a standing position, we're gonna kind of be in a little bit of a, not a sumo squat position, but a wider stance, basically. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get in this wider stance, and from here, we're gonna have a slight bend in our knees, slight hinge in our hips here, chest is up, we're gonna have these 2 dumbbells, we are going to press them together here, so they're gonna be touching each other here, and we're gonna hang them down between our legs. Now from here, you're gonna have to really widen out that stance so you can get those dumbbells down here between your legs. Knees are tracking out over those toes, so make sure your knees aren't caving in. Your toes are pointed out, knees are tracking out over those toes. Grab these dumbbells here, from here, chest up, shoulders back, keeping those dumbbells touching the entire time. Really press them together. Curl up, pause at the top, slow and controlled all the way down. Curl up, all the way down. We're gonna do a set of 12 of these. Really working the inside part of the biceps here. Curl up, all the way down. Set of 12 of these, set those down, increase the weight for 9 reps. After your 1 minute of rest, rest for another minute. Then you're gonna increase the weight to those 6 reps, and then you're going to immediately go into that drop set where you go at that lightest weight until failure. After you completed that, your biceps are done. Now we're moving on to triceps today. And it starts off with incline dumbbell skull crushers. So move your dumbbells out of the way here. I'm gonna turn the bench around here so you can kind of see what we're gonna end up doing here. And this is an incline skull crusher. So So from here, what we're gonna do is got the bench already at that incline. We're gonna grab our 2 dumbbells here. Palms are gonna be facing each other, bring them up overhead. Now everything should be stacked nicely, wrist, elbows, shoulders, all in a line. Kind of move yourself up to the top of this bench here. Now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna bend at the elbows. We don't want a lot of movement forward and backwards here. We just wanna bend at the elbows, making sure those elbows are still pointing up towards the ceiling. Bring those dumbbells down by the sides of our ears. Then you're gonna press all the way up, squeeze to the top. Now you're really gonna feel this in those triceps, making sure that those elbows aren't falling down. Make sure they are staying up high, pointing directly up towards the ceiling there. Squeezing at the top, you're gonna do a set of 12 of these at this lightest weight. Just like everything else we've been doing, once you've completed the 12 at the lightest weight, then you're gonna rest for 1 minute, increase the weight for a set of 9, rest for 1 minute, increase the weight again for a set of 6, and then immediately grab that lightest set again and do a set of those inclined dumbbell skull crushers to failure. Then we're gonna go ahead and move on to dumbbell overhead extensions. So bench doesn't need to be here. Make sure that's out of the way. We're not using the bench for this one. We are just gonna use the same dumbbells that we've done before. This is gonna be a standing upright position. Always make sure you have a nice stance here, guys. So feet should be about hip width apart, maybe a little bit wider. Slight bend in those knees. We're gonna grab these 2 dumbbells. We're gonna press them together here. I like to hold them together. If you don't have the shoulder mobility to kind of keep them together, you can have them apart, but I like to kind of go behind my head here and I like to press them together. So from here, make sure those elbows are pointed up towards the ceiling, up towards the sky. You're gonna press, squeeze those triceps to the top, and then bring them back down behind your head. Press them up, nice and slow and controlled on that negative, guys. Press them up, squeeze to the top, slow and controlled coming down. You're gonna do a set of 12 of these extensions. I like to keep them pressed together. If you don't have the shoulder mobility to go ahead and do that, you can then separate them just a little bit. You're gonna do that set of 12 at that lightest weight. You're gonna rest for 1 minute. Then we're gonna go into a set of 9 at a heavier weight, rest for 1 minute, a set of 6 at the heaviest weight, just like we did before. Drop down to the lightest weight again after that set of 6 and go until failure. Then we're moving on to single arm dumbbell kickbacks. Now we need the bench again, so we're gonna put it in a flat position here. And we're gonna start off here with the left arm. And from this position, I'm just gonna need 1 dumbbell. And just like we've done in some other, on the back day, you remember we're gonna be in this position, so just like we had done on the back day, depending on the height of your bench, you might have 1 hand on the bench or you might have an elbow here on the bench. We're gonna have 1 foot in front and 1 foot towards the back here. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab this dumbbell, palms are gonna be facing yourself here. From here, now what you're gonna do is you're going to engage that shoulder, lock that shoulder up here. Now you're gonna pull the elbow back, keeping that elbow in close to your sides. We don't want the elbow flailing out. Keep it right in close, right hugged up against your ribs. Now from this position, you're gonna roll back here. Now from here, now we're gonna kick back and we're gonna pause for just a second and then slow and controlled bring it down. Kick it back, and you can do 12 of these kickbacks here. Now, on these movements, this movement, when you get it back in this kickback position, it's really hard to keep that up without it falling back down to the ground. So what I want you to make sure you're doing is choosing, especially on that first set, something is light. That right there is a 20. You might even want to go down to 15s or 12s for that set. Because remember, we have to increase that weight 3 times to that heaviest weight. So if you start off at a 20 and you're only going by 5-pound increments, that 30 is going to be that last set. And you might not be able to pause there and really contract that tricep muscle if it's too heavy. It might just fall back down. So make sure you're choosing the right weight. You're going to go ahead and do 12 of those on the left arm. Then you're going to immediately go over to that right arm, do 12 on that arm. Then you're going to rest for that 1 minute. After the 1 minute rest is up, increase the weight, 9 on the left, 9 on the right. Rest for 1 minute. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna increase that weight to that heaviest weight like we've done before. You're gonna do 6 reps on the left. Now before you go over to the right arm, I want you to then switch to that drop set. So you've just done the 6 of that heaviest weight on the left arm, drop down to that lightest weight immediately and do to failure on the left arm. Then move over to the right arm, do the 6, and then the 6 to the set to failure there at the lightest weight. Once you've done that, now we're moving on to the next movement, which is gonna be flat bench skull crushers. So just like we were doing before with the incline bench, now we're just gonna do these at a flat bench. So let me just turn this around a little bit. So it's basically the same movement, but we're doing it on a flat bench, which just changes up the range of motion a little bit on there. So we're gonna do the same thing we were doing before. Go ahead, grab these dumbbells. Press them all the way up overhead. Now from here, we're just bringing those dumbbells down to our ears, just like we were doing on those inclines. Elbows are pointed up towards the ceiling, then press up, squeeze at the top, all the way down, all the way up. So same set sequence, 12, 9, 6, increasing weight each time, 1 minute rest in between, and then on that drop set, you're gonna drop down to that lightest weight to a set of failure. Once you've completed those, now we're moving into the final tricep movement today and the final movement in this entire arms workout today, which is gonna be close grip dumbbell bench press. So our bench is already in the position that we need it to be in. And basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab the two dumbbells, we're gonna lay down on the bench, we're gonna press them close together. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come down, keeping those elbows in close to our sides. Now we've done something very similar on chest day, which was the close grip bench press. The difference is on today, well, on the chest day, we were keeping those dumbbells right up over our chest. What I want you to do now is bring those dumbbells down a little bit over your abdomen, a little bit over your ribs, and now you're coming down. Dumbbells are gonna be down here instead of up here. Basically what that does is now it engages the triceps more, and when you're up here, it's gonna engage the chest more. So today, we're keeping those elbows close to our sides, but bringing the dumbbells down towards the lower part of your rib cage. So we're gonna go ahead, lean back, press them up. Dumbbells are touching each other, palms are facing each other. Bend at the elbows, elbows scrape down by the ribs. Dumbbells are down right low point, right here at the lower part of my rib cage, right around my abdomen. Then I'm gonna press them up and keep them at that position. So they're down here. Make sure you're not coming back up like this. Make sure you're keeping them in that lower position, because that is what's going to work the triceps. If those dumbbells start to come up, then you're back into working a chest movement, and that's not what we're doing today. So you're gonna go ahead and do 12 here, set those down, rest for that 1 minute, increase the weight for 9 reps, rest for 1 minute, increase the weight for 6 reps, and then you're going to decrease the weight down to the lightest weight and do that set to failure. Once you've completed that, that completes the workout of the day, and I'll see you right back here next time for your next workout in the Battleground. And as always, guys, make sure you check out EliteLevelLeader.com for our full fitness business training programs and to enlist today.